March 22, Sydney. Tell us about your opponent.
Yeah, look, very excited to come back to this beautiful city, my hometown. You know, with all my fans, all my supporters, the ones that have supported me from day one. This is where it started. You know, Sydney. This is my home. So coming back here March 22 at the premier venue in Sydney, Bank Arena. What a venue! Against a very dangerous fighter. Yordan may not be as known as the Lomachenkos and the Haney and the Lopezes and the Selbys and even the Mickey Bays. But Yordan is no joke. Formerly world number one, two-time IBO world champion, WBA world title challenger, fought the likes of Robert Guerrero, Anthony Crolla, a lot of good guys. Chris John, who's a national hero over there as well. And he's a senator from Indonesia. He's got a whole country of 280, 290 million population supporting him, backing him, wanting him to win. So he will not come here to be embarrassed. And if you know Yordan, like we know Yordan, because we were scheduled to fight a long time ago, he comes to fight in every fight. He's a slugger, and I'm looking forward to it. This is a good test. This is a good 140 entry, and I want to make a big statement against this guy. He's the perfect style for me, and I can't wait.
Tell us about that homecoming to Sydney, first time in 8 years, just over there at Luna Park, the last time you fought in Sydney. How good is it to get that homecoming fight?
Yeah, look, Luna Park, 8 years ago against Brandon Ogilvie. A hell of a fight. A lot of people said I wouldn't win that fight, and I turned up and put on a 12-round shutout. Showed how well and how much potential I had to become a world champion, then I went and done it. 8 years later, you look back and you say where I've been and the road I've taken and the fights I've had against the legends, and I never had the chance to come back to Sydney. Obviously, Melbourne took the big fights with Haney, Perth took the big fight with Lomachenko, but I always was focused to bring back a big fight to Sydney. And here we are, 8 years later, March 22, Bank Arena. I'm excited. The fans are pumped. Everyone's can't wait to be there, and it's a hell of a card. I feel that it's the Australian card of the year. You got world title fights on the card. You got prospects. You got contenders. You got a whole good Australian card that will showcase to the world.
Tell us about what kind of reception you're expecting from your hometown fans.
Yeah, a big one. No matter what, when Kambosos fights, it's always a big card. Numbers come out. Everyone's so excited, and I'm looking forward to it. 140, new division. I feel extremely well, inspiring. In my training, I feel great. I think 135 got to a point where it was detrimental to my performances in the back end. And the energy I have now, 140, is amazing. I'm looking forward to testing the waters there, get this good win. But there is a lot, lined up, after this fight. But I have to be so focused because we've seen, mistakes happen with other fighters where they look too far ahead. So I'm very focused on Yordan, and like I said, he's going to come to fight, and I'm going to come to fight. So expect a war, expect a slugfest, but expect Kambosos to be victorious after 8 years in his hometown in Sydney.
We know you're focused on Yordan, but looking forward, as you said, the 140 picture is very interesting. It looks like Richardson, Hitchens and Teofimo Lopez, two guys you've got history with, are going to be fighting. Is that a fight you're looking at, and potentially down the track, one where you can really make a big fight at super lightweight?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, with Hitchens and Lopez, if they're going to fight or not. There's a lot of, yes, no, a lot of contract, problems at the moment as well, which we see Lopez go out and say and Hitchens go out and say. So we focus on Yordan. I'm sure he's coming here, and I know he's coming here to spoil the party, but we know how important this fight is for me to look to them future fights. Yes, me and Hitchens have bad blood. We hate each other. We're always going back and forth with the verbal abuse on social media. So, of course, I've said yes. I focus on March, get that done, and then we can fight, the next day. And again, my best buddy, Teofimo Lopez, who, if he was to walk here right now in Sydney, would go toe-to-toe right now. That can happen as well. For me, I never shy away from the hard challenges. Look at the resume, look at the guys I fought. And again, in my 140-pound debut, I take on a very dangerous former world champion.
Any other names in the division you're looking at?
Anyone's got a belt. Anyone's got a belt. That makes sense. That's who I want. That's the kind of fighter I've been and the challenges that I've had. So whatever makes most sense. But like I said, I'm focused on Yordan. That's my main focus. I don't look too far ahead.
Tell us about the rest of the fight card featuring 2 women's world title fights.
Yeah, it's a hell of a card. Skye Nicholson makes a return as a WBC world champion, taking a very loudmouth American. There's a lot of bad blood there, so I'm expecting a great fight there. We got Sugar Neeks doing the rematch. Obviously, they had a hell of a fight when I fought Lomachenko on the undercard, so they do the rematch. You got Termawana, who's making a lot of noise. You got Imam Katayev, looking like he's going to be on the card, who's a wrecking machine and absolutely destroying everybody. You got young Jaden Bwan, local Sydney boy, who I've been doing a lot of work with as well. So there's a lot of good local talent and also international talent that's coming in to face a lot of our people. So I'm looking forward to a hell of a card, and I can't wait.
It's not your first fight on a Matchroom show, but it's your first fight since being signed with Matchroom. How have they been to work with?
Yeah, look, Matchroom's fantastic. I've got a lot of rich history with Matchroom. The Selby fight, the Lopez fight. I won my championship under their banner. So I'm looking forward to making a good statement and then moving forward. Obviously, my promoter as well, Lou DeBella, and my own company, Ferocious Promotions, is heavily involved and invested in this fight. Without Ferocious Promotions, without George Kambosos, this event cannot go ahead. So I'm looking forward to March 22.
Tell us why fans should buy tickets.
Look, the fans know when Kambosos fights, he brings a war. Now, when you got another guy like Yordan, who's going to come to fight with 31 knockouts in 44 victories, he's dangerous. But I love danger, I love the risk, and it's going to be a hell of a fight back home after 8 years.
How confident are you that you can get back to another world title fight at 140?
Look, I'm very confident because my only losses have been to Devin Haney, who's one of the all-time greats, and Vasily Lomachenko, another all-time great. So I'm very confident. I look at guys like Hitchens, who is not 1/10 of these guys. Lopez, I've already beaten. You got obviously Haney, WBC champion in Reeses, but Sandor Martin and the other guy, Puello, or whatever his name is, they're not top-tier guys, the guys that I have fought. The young kid from the US, Valenzuela as well. He's a good kid, but I see the holes, I see my opportunities, and I see who I've fought, the resume that I have, and I can beat these guys. So March 22 is when it all starts at 140 in a new division.